Good morning. Welcome once again to Word of the Day Thursday, and our word for this week is perseverance. It seems that perseverance is something we all need right now. One of the things that's helping me to persevere during this pandemic is Facebook. Not the political stuff so much, but the updates from friends, the great videos of dog rescues, recipes, and cartoons. There was a cartoon on Facebook last week that kind of summed it all up for me. It showed Winnie the Pooh and Piglet walking down a road, their backs to us. The conversation went like this. Pooh? Yes, Piglet. This is hard. Yes, Piglet. This is hard. The pandemic is hard. I feel like I've done everything I can, but it doesn't seem to help. There are still so many people out there not wearing face masks, not even trying to do social distancing. And because so many have not taken it seriously, even my Badger football has been canceled for the fall. And our teachers and students and parents are left trying to figure out how to safely move forward. Perseverance is certainly needed right now. A steady persistence in spite of difficulties. That does seem to fit the bill. For our daily devotions, Lauren and I are reading the New Testament book of Hebrews. And the writer of Hebrews has something to say about perseverance. In chapter 12, we read, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and the sin that clings so closely, and let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us." The verses talk about laying aside the things that weigh us down, and that's good advice, for me at least. I'll do better with my perseverance during this pandemic if I stop dwelling on the people who do not take it seriously. I will do better to lay aside my anger and disgust. I know it just makes me feel worse, and it's something I cannot control. And I'm not great at not being in control. But the part of these verses from Hebrews that really speak to me are those first words. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, all those faithful people who have gone before us surround us. We know that in their day they faced hardship and difficult times. They were sustained in their faith by their own cloud of witnesses. Most of the churches that Lauren and I have served have a very long history. Our church in Amory just celebrated its 150th anniversary. Each church history is a story of how faith overcame difficult times, how perseverance brought them to a better place. The Amory church history talks about how an earlier church building was destroyed by a tornado. Our church in Cloquet had just finished a beautiful new addition. It was to be dedicated in October 1918. But Zion, along with every church in town, was destroyed by a cataclysmic fire. That fire took many lives and is still considered one of the worst natural disasters in Minnesota history. But Zion persevered. They continued to be the church. They rebuilt. And when their numbers grew in the 1950s, they took a leap of faith and built a new and larger church on what was then the edge of town. You and I and our churches and our communities are surrounded by those witnesses of the faith that continued to persevere. With God's love and strength and guidance, with faith in God and one another, they persevered. They continued in spite of difficult times. May God grant us the perseverance to do the same.